always in a good way.
And we are live now, apparently, Mr. Birch.
Are we live?
We're live.
Right on. We're doing a test right now for all of you people wondering why we're doing this live right now. We're doing a test tomorrow because we have this once in a lifetime event for me. I've been in business for over 40 years, been a businessman, and what's happening tomorrow is probably going to be one of the biggest things I've ever done in my business career. And it's what it is we're bringing a nation in from Saskatchewan, real beautiful community. Shoal Lake is participating tomorrow. The chief and council are in town, and they're coming here to be the first of its kind in Canada to be under the Birch Carbon Program. I'm live right now with Steve McMullen. Steve, would you like to talk a little bit about the Birch Carbon Program and our relationship and friendship with Shoal Lake and how big this is for the nation?
You know what? We've got a lot of things to quickly discuss. Shoal Lake Cree Nation in Saskatchewan is obviously one of the biggest deals that we have going. And we're doing this little test run right now because we have a room full of VIPs flying in from the West Coast, from Ontario. You know, there's just so many people that are participating tomorrow night. It's going to be catered by the Silver Heights restaurant. And we're pulling out all the stops here to make it one of the most it's the most exciting thing for us in our lives in a long time, that's for sure, right?
Yeah, well, we're doing this as a test right now because when we have the so-called godfather of sustainability, Daniel Ward, on tomorrow, we want to make sure we don't have any glitches. That's why we're doing this this live right now.
Yeah, for sure. And also, don't forget, we have Hartley coming on tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm really excited about that show as well. So Hartley, he's on our michaelbirch.ca website. His company is one of the Birch group of companies. He's going to be live with you on the couch tomorrow at 1. And he is Mindful Energy Solutions. And he's flying in from Vancouver for this show that he's going to be having with you on the couch tomorrow. And hopefully we can bring in Mr. Gary Birch as part of that show as well. The technology nowadays is unbelievable. So tomorrow is a fully packed day. We have the 1 p.m. live Birch show with Hartley. Then at 4 o'clock, the Honorable Tom Jackson is flying in. The Shoal Lake Cree Nation Chief and Council are going to be in. Some of our other aligned companies and members of the Birch group of companies are going to be in.
And our funders here as well.
Yeah, right. So tomorrow's a really, really big day. And on my end, it looks pretty clear. My phone is looking pretty good too, Mr. Birch. So I'm pretty happy with it.
That's good. You want to give a Coles Notes version about Hartley and what he's going to do. This is really revolutionary on what is going to transpire in a lot of our nations in the future. What does Hartley bring to the team?
So Mindful Energy Solutions is a sustainable energy company redefining how the world heats its spaces. So through patented immersion cooling technology, they capture the heat generated by high-performance computing and repurposing it into clean, reliable warmth. So basically, they're turning energy that was once wasted into a renewable heating solution with a negative carbon footprint. And again, it sort of ties in nicely with what we're talking about with the carbon program and Shoal Lake Cree Nation coming in at 4 o'clock. But this energy solution is redirecting heat from computers and mining systems and redirecting it into heating communities. I know that they partnered with Cargill, and I've done some research. He's got a lot of other products that in services that we're going to be talking about in detail. You know what? When there's people this smart, it's always best to let them do the most talking.
Yeah, it's a way of the future. You know what I mean? And it's evolving right in front of us. And the biggest thing a lot of communities don't realize is what getting away from the Hartley end of it talking about carbon credits, there's a value to the lands, the trees, the water, the air. There's value to that. And the biggest polluters in the world want to continue, obviously, doing what they're doing, but they're going to have to pay because the lungs of the land are our nations.
Right. And you know what? Even yesterday, again, I always share the story that one of these nations shared with us in one of our meetings. And that was, you know what? When you see a plane traveling above 30,000 square feet or 30,000, feet in the air, and you see that big line of pollution coming off of that airplane, where do you think it lands? And that's the big one is, these First Nations and all their trees, they're the lungs of the world.
Yeah, they are. No, it's a pretty big thing. I can't believe the team that we've assembled because they believe in it first. Shoal Lake, as an example, we've had countless meetings. We've had 4 or 5 meetings with them. We vetted the process. Shoal Lake is the first one out of a long list of communities that will come onto the Birch Carbon Program. So that the people know out there, we have some really dynamic people. This is led by Indigenous groups. This is an Indigenous-led company, all the way from Daniel Ward, who's the one of my partners out of originally Canadian from Ontario, and lives in Las Vegas, but will be working here in Canada with me over the next few years going forward. And we've got Tom Jackson involved. And I remember approaching Tom Jackson. I said, I want you to come on board with me and help me launch Birch Carbon Program. He said his exact words were, I will help as long as it saves lives. So you know what, at the end of the day, it's about making life better for our nations. And that's why we're doing this. This is going to be amazing. We have Tom Jackson, who's the face behind a lot of what we're doing here. David Pratt, a former FSIN Grand Chief, is independent working with us right now. He's well situated with the nations out from Saskatchewan. Matt Vickers out in BC and Alberta. Matt Vickers was the very well respected from I believe it's the Salish Nation out in BC. Well trusted. And all of these people are Indigenous people. But on Friday, we just landed another amazing person, Matthew Kuncum, who will be representing us out in Quebec. So we got a lot of representation here. So we are a strong team led by Indigenous people. And we're going to make sure that our people are protected and looked after in this process going forward. So we're really excited. Tomorrow, we're doing an official signing at 4:00 with Shoal Lake. And this is going to be the test. And that's why we're on today to show this kind of a remote link so that it goes off without a hitch properly tomorrow.
So we're kind of testing it in a good way, so to speak. And anybody who wants to check out the Birch Carbon Program website, I do highly encourage you to do so because we have updated our team. And that is Birch Carbon Program, all one word, .com. Check out the website. Of course, stay tuned to the michaelbirch.ca website. They both work hand in hand. There's differences being made daily in these nations. You're taking Shoal Lake on a little visit to one of our partners, friends, and allies at True North Supply tomorrow. Then we got a show at 1. You got a very busy day tomorrow, Mr. Birch.
Yeah, I know. Shoal Lake got in here yesterday. The chief of council, so they're meeting a number of lumber suppliers while they're here. Just different companies while they're here. So they're not wasting any time, that's for sure. But they're here tomorrow to do the official signing. So that's what we're here to do, and we're going to make a difference. And we're really looking forward to that tomorrow. So everybody that's out there, follow us on our Facebook page and check out our link. We're one of the first, and I give a lot of credit to you, Steve, and the team. We're the first in Canada to really have this interactive map of all the nations. If you check out our website, it's really impressive stuff. Steve, you want to explain that for a second?
Sure. It's my pleasure too, actually. So that is on the michaelbirch.ca website. When you go onto that website, it's very easy to navigate. And actually, I'm just going to scroll up on that website right now, and you're just literally going to go to the interactive Indigenous map. It's a button on top of the website. And the one thing that I'm so proud about our team, this is a collaboration and an effort, but every single nation in Canada is on that map. If you see a dark circle, then you're going to be driven to the government website for that nation. But some of the nations have both. They have their own private website, and they also have a government website. So it's free of charge. We put it together. We've done a lot of work to get it to that point. But the whole idea was to share that presence of all those different individual nations and give them a place that people have accessibility to. You know, a number of times in our conversations, people have asked us about this nation and who's the chief here, or, you know, and this is a source of information that everyone can use, that you instantly have the chief, the council, their websites, their contact information whenever you need it. And you're right, it's a one-of-a-kind application. We're very proud of it.
You worked so hard, and the team here, to put that together. It's been years of templates, putting it all together to do this. I don't think there's another site like it anywhere, as far as I'm concerned. I think it's valuable, and it's there for anybody to use. If you want to know anything about any of our nations, go onto our website and look for that map.
You know what? And there's also something else I'm just going to quickly say before we jump off here. There's been a number of people over the last 2 to 3 weeks going, "Where's the bird show? Why haven't I seen the bird show?" Even Steve Page was in our office last week going, "Steve, what happened? I was watching you all the time and haven't seen you for a while." Well, the secret's out. Isaac, our camera guy, went to Japan with the models. And guys, just be a little bit patient with us, please. We are coming back with full force. We have a number of incredible guests lined up for the bird show to come and sit on the couch and have a chat with you, Mike. And you know what? I appreciate everyone actually asking about the show. It just tells me that people are really interested in what you're doing and how we're doing great things for these nations. It's just something awesome to be a part of.
I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think there was a interest out there. It's really interesting what you see when it comes to analytics. There's over 200,000, 250,000 views every time there's a show. You got it kind of on these platforms, so it's obviously worth doing, and we want to put interesting content out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What? I like how we give everyone an opportunity to share their opinions and their interests. We are not politically inclined whatsoever. We support the people, and people are entitled to their own beliefs, their own words and wisdom. But I love hearing people's story, and that's one of my favorite parts about the show.
Anyway, getting back to, before we ended, I was in Shoal Lake last week, and I just want to pay my respects to all the flood victims. I can't get over the amount of flooding that's happened in this province, and I saw it firsthand. After our meeting with Shoal Lake last week, we drove. I headed up through OCN, and then it's an hour and a half from there. There was no problem. It was still kind of damp, but the rain came down that day, and we decided, that the council was telling us to go through Saskatchewan, through Hudson Bay, to a different. What happened was a 6.5 hour trip ended up being 12 to 14 hours getting home. A lot of it had to do with the flood. I could not believe the rain that happened everywhere. Like, we were coming through Dauphin as an example. I could not believe the amount of rain that was coming through there. It was ridiculous. And I'll tell you what ended up happening is the next day, I remember looking at Facebook, Leroy Constant, chief of York Factory, who's a prominent musician, showed on his Facebook page his guitars in his basement were floating in the basement. So I really felt bad for Chief Constant. And this man is a well-respected chief and a great musician who toured all over the world with Buffy Sainte-Marie, and his guitars were in the basement. So it just kind of showed you, not only was Dauphin flooded, other towns were, and we were taking diversions, which ended up being crazy, and the lightning would not stop. So it was nice to get home safe. and safe and sound, so we didn't have to worry about that. So anyway, getting back again about the flood, I was actually listening to CJOB this morning. Hal Anderson was talking about this guy. He's a singer, wrote a song, and he stressed that AI had a lot to do with it. But this guy wrote the song through AI as the valley rose. His name was Ty Smith. It was actually a really, really awesome song. And it was actually a really awesome song, and it's getting a lot of traction right now. So I urge people to check out this new Ty Smith song. It's pretty impressive. So my hearts go out to the people. And just to let you all know, Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs, we're supposed to have this AGM in Brandon over the next few days. And it was officially canceled today, rightly so. I totally understand why this would be canceled. As these communities are dealing with massive floods here in southern Manitoba and parts of central Manitoba.
That flooding and the rain, the weather, it's definitely in our neighboring provinces as well. But absolutely, our province is being devastated by some of these floods and storms. And, even again this morning, we just had another torrential downpour, and it's crazy. It's just every season seems to be different, and our hearts and our thoughts definitely go out to those victims of those floods. And sure. So
yeah, I liked it up a little bit. Sorry about that. Before I forget, and is you notice there's an overabundance of mosquitoes this year? It's crazy. It's they are out of control. But I grew up in northern Manitoba where there's a lot of mosquitoes. But I don't know if it's just me or my age. The mosquitoes are getting faster. It's crazy. They are getting faster. I don't know if there's a new hybrid mosquito out there. So one thing I did, I was one of these. They look like a tennis racket mosquito. It's the electrical one where it just zaps. That's the way. So people that don't want to get rid of mosquitoes get it. It's cheap. You just swat them and they electrocute them. But they are faster.
I feel sorry because I'm sure Jen's going to get a zap to the butt sometime with it soon too.
Yeah. She can't stand them, so she's chasing them around the house all night. She will not go to bed until the mosquitoes are out of the house and gone. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's it for today. I want to thank everybody. These are the messages, so stay tuned tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. Check out our site. And it's a very exciting time in my life. And this will help our nations, and you'll understand more about what Birch Carbon is all about. So check out the Birch Carbon program. God bless all of you. Mamkad Minandang, Dagyagan Snook, Hello Gitna, Wetagayods, Garden Hill, Anshinu Nation, Agamina Ansnook. Thank you very much, people, all in a good way. Take care of yourselves.